A fire destroyed this 1 million square foot facility. It belongs to a company called Medline, which distributes medical supplies.
And tonight we got our hands on video from inside that warehouse. Take a look. You can see what appears to be the start of the fire spreading from pallet racks to the rafters. The person who sent in this video did not want to be identified, but says they did hear the fire alarm going off, but did not see sprinklers. And the fire chief is now saying that's because they weren't working.
So we have team coverage for you tonight. Officials are expected to give an update here in just a second. Peyton Headley and Anahita Jafari are in Tracy. Our meteorologist Heather Waldman is tracking the air quality and the winds. But let's go to that press conference, which is starting right now.
Embers throughout our community. We had 3 additional fires. One was 2.5 miles from the incident. Currently, the building is still burning. We have crews in a defensive posture trying to not control the fire, but we'll be here for a couple of days trying to put the fire out. The other fires, one fire was in the FedEx facility that was adjacent to this warehouse. Again, aggressive fire attack, mutual aid resources. We were able to save the FedEx warehouse, which is another very large facility. The other 2 fires, one at our airport and one off of Lambers Road and Valpico Road. The airport fire is 100% contained. The fire at Valpico and Lambers Road is 80% contained, and crews will probably be working on that one throughout the night. That's our update for now. We have a total of 120 firefighters between the three fires. We have 35 pieces of apparatus. We have mutual aid support from Stanislaus County and Alameda County and throughout San Joaquin County. And we also requested an incident command type 3 team from Stanislaus County. They are here, and we've began to kind of bring them into our command structure and work with them. Also, I want to recognize our partners from law enforcement. Tracy Police Department, our Sheriff's Office, and CHP has been instrumental with evacuations and controlling our streets and allowing our firefighters to do their jobs. We have been monitoring the air quality, and we have 3 different monitoring stations, and we have not recognized any air that would require any protective actions. I think that's my update for this evening. I'm willing to take a couple of questions, and again, we have our law enforcement counterparts here that would entertain questions.
You're talking about some of the challenges you're facing tonight as far as trying to take the start?
Yeah, it's a 1 million square foot warehouse fire, and it's still casting embers. So a 1 million square foot fire is an extremely rare fire, not only in California, but in the United States. And so this is a unique fire for us. And so we expect to be here for a couple of days. We're also concerned, again, the embers and the winds, and making sure that we don't have any additional fires that are from our ember casting.
Are you guys still dealing with the water?
Yeah, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. We believe it started on the roof, but again, that's just the initial. We have investigators. I think we're going to receive some help from ATF. Our investigators are on scene, but again, it's going to take them a little bit. They're reviewing video right now. It's going to take them a little bit to really get a handle on exact origin and cause.
Is the water pressure on the composition of the air?
So we had problems with water pressure initially on the fire. The fire hydrants within the yard of the facility had lacked pressure, so we had to connect the fire hydrants on the street from the municipal water system. We don't know why those fire hydrants weren't pressurized. We did look back at the records to make sure they were tested. They were tested in January, the fire system, the fire pumps, the fire hydrants, and the fire alarm system. So those tests were done. It'll take us a while to figure out why those hydrants weren't as operational as they should have been.
Are you concerned with the toxicity in the air?
Can you ask again, please?
Are you concerned with the community and the toxic fumes that are...
we are monitoring. We've set up 3 different monitoring stations, and we have not seen any indication that it would require any protective actions at this time. If that changes, then we will put protective actions in place.
What about the spring?
You know, the fire evolved extremely quickly, and initially we did not see any sprinklers activate, so that's part of our investigation.
Do you know what kind of fuel it was, what it was that was burning that caused it to burn so fast?
Well, this is a warehouse with a variety of commodities that include a lot of medical supplies, and so a lot of cardboard, a lot of paper products, and that extends fires quickly.
A lot of debris coming down in nearby neighborhoods. Is there any concern for folks that might be picking those pieces up?
I don't think so. I think that it's more like charcoal from what we understand. So right now we don't have those concerns.
How's the water pressure tonight?
Water pressure is good from the city hydrants. So we're working off of those hydrants.
Can you tell us how you determine
Again, this is such a unique fire. There's probably been 3 or 4 of these in the history of our country, this size of warehouse fire. And so we don't know. And we may be here for 3 or 4 days. You know, this thing may be concluded in the next 2 days. We just don't know.
Did the fire suppression system go off inside of FedEx?
I don't believe so.
Do you know who called 911 tonight or earlier this afternoon?
We don't. We're reviewing those tapes right now, and we want to interview the person that made the initial 911 call.
How long did it take to evacuate after the 911 call? Was anybody injured?
There were no injuries, and I would absolutely like to make that point. Although we had a very significant fire, again, strong winds, high temperature, low humidity, and the fact that no firefighters were injured, all the employees evacuated safely, and we really had a really challenging firefight, and the fact that everybody is safe is really impressive. So no injuries.
How many people were there?
Normally 900. I think there was 120 when the fire occurred.
What hazardous materials were inside?
We have a list of hazardous materials. We're reviewing those right now, and you can imagine, again, a medical supply company, there's several types of hazardous materials. So we're reviewing those right now. I don't have a list for you right now. Thank you. We appreciate it. We probably will not have another press release or a press conference until tomorrow morning, probably around 0800 hours. So thank you all for being here.
And we've been listening to South County Fire Authority Chief Randall Bradley talking about the latest with this fire at the Medline facility here, a 1 million square foot facility here that has gone up in flames. Golston Dart here reporting at the corner of Promontory Parkway, the southwest edge of where this building burned. We learned some new pieces of information in that news conference. We learned that after fire crews were called out here at 1 o'clock, the building was fully involved, he said, in minutes, and the fire kicked up a ton of smoke, which we saw on Live Copter 3 and of course on KCRA 3, but embers also cast it up to 2.5 miles away. The adjacent FedEx building, the fire got near that. It did not spread. There's still no cause of the fire yet. We also know that the ATF is aiding in the investigation along with state and county authorities here. So the fire is still burning in some spots. The smoke, you may be able to see just a little bit over my shoulder here. The smoke is still kicking up. It doesn't even compare to what you can see when it is daylight, because it just cuts a giant path through the sky some 20 miles to the south and east of where we're standing here. We've got an onshore breeze that's keeping the smoke that way. We're going to check in with Heather a little bit more to talk about that. But first, let's talk a little bit about this Medline company. We can tell you that their website claims to be the largest provider of medical surgical products. Now, we've received a statement from Medline today. It says in part, quote, Medline can confirm a fire is occurring at our Tracy, California distribution facility. All Medline employees and on-site personnel are accounted for. And here's what we have found out about Medline. The company distributes over 300,000 healthcare products, and they make everything from wound care products to lab supplies, surgical equipment, protective equipment for doctors, wheelchairs. It's a fairly large company with more than 45,000 employees worldwide. They have 70 global distribution centers and 30 manufacturing facilities. Now, this particular hub here behind me supplies some major hospitals throughout the region here in the Central Valley and in the Bay Area. We're talking Sutter Health, Kaweah Health, Enloe Health, Stanford Medicine, Carson Tahoe Health, as well as the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, a spokesperson from Sutter sent KCRA3 a statement today saying in part, quote, "At this time, we do not anticipate any broad impacts when it comes to supplies." The statement goes on to say that our supply chain teams have contingency plans in place to maintain access to critical supplies. So back out here live, you can see that there are several units, some of these units from Hayward, Fremont, Alameda, a lot of places in the Bay Area. The South County Fire Authority obviously is here as well, and they're going to be here throughout the night, keeping the fire within the confines of the building, and you can see the walls are starting to buckle. We also heard in that news conference just a few minutes ago that embers were carried some 2.5 miles away. Other particulate matters were also carried throughout the air, and Anahita Jafari is joining me live right now. She's in a neighborhood talking about what folks there saw in their front yards. Anahita.
Yeah, Golston, from those massive plumes of black smoke in the air to piles of debris finding their way into communities like this one. A ripple effect of a large fire at the Medline Distribution Center resulted in this.
Soft, light, crispy. It just breaks apart. And it leaves like charcoal stains on your fingers.
Pieces of debris scattered throughout parks, trails, and roadways, and all over many Tracy neighborhoods.
They were floating in my pool. They're all over the grass. They were all over the cement.
But that's not the only thing people had to worry about. Spot fires like this were reported across the city.
You could see the trees catching on fire, and it was from this flying in the air.
Neighbors describe the sky above their homes as apocalyptic, but they say it isn't as scary as what the workers and fire crews are dealing with. One woman says she knows one person who works at Medline and the neighboring FedEx facility.
Luckily, both of them work night shift, so they were not there when the fire started. I contacted both of them. They're both safe. They're worried, obviously.
Now, at this point, we're not sure who's responsible for picking up these countless pieces of debris littered throughout the city, but we have seen some neighbors already stepping up to the task. Sending it back to you, Golston.
Yeah, Anahita, it's everywhere out there where you are right now. Well, where we are, the smoke is just across the street, basically from where we're standing right now. And a lot of us have decided to pull these out to use out here while we're covering this story. I've had mine off for about 20 minutes. And I can tell you, although we're getting that onshore breeze, it's blowing it away from me. You can still feel it in the back of your throat. Let's go to Heather Waldman right now, tracking the weather conditions. And you know, Heather, I'm just thinking about all the people who live not far from this facility.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point there, Golston. Just to use your senses. If you can smell something in the air that doesn't smell quite right, or if you can kind of feel the irritation in your nose and your throat, that is your sign that you want to keep the windows closed. You want to keep your air conditioning recirculating. And if you do have to be outside, do what Golston's doing, do what our reporters have been doing, keep a mask on hand, because this isn't just, you know, your average wildfire smoke. There's all kinds of junk that may be in this smoke blowing around. Did take a look at some of the air quality reports from some of our major reporting sites. All of these sensors are from purple air. Anything you see in green, like here in Modesto, up into Manteca, over into the Bay Area, that's an indication that air quality is good. But of course, because this fire started in a relatively remote spot, we don't have sensors in the area where the smoke was blown. So it just goes to show, okay, the sensors we can see are in good shape, but trust your own judgment if you are closer to that fire. Winds have shifted throughout the day. They were north earlier this afternoon. They've now shifted from the west. That's a very typical pattern in Tracy. It's a breezy spot at this time of night, at this time of the year, and that breeze is going to pick back up again tomorrow evening, but winds will be light tomorrow morning. So hopefully that'll be, you know, at least a little bit more advantageous for the fire crews that are working. It is unfortunately going to be another hot day for them working, though. Golston, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, really difficult conditions there for them. Thank you for that, Heather. Wanted to come back out here live because you can see just a little bit of an orange glow there behind the walls of the distribution center. We've been seeing flames come up from the walls from time to time as material still burns in there. And let me paint a picture for you, because what you can't see is along the western side and the northern side of this building, you have ladder trucks lined up. The ladders are extended, the hoses are extended. They've been putting water on this fire for hours now, and it is still burning. There is still black smoke on the eastern edge of the building, and that's what they're going to be concentrating on tonight, making sure it doesn't spread. And also, Andrea and Curtis, as I go back to you guys, I was just kind of struck by what was said in the news conference, talking more again about the water issues, the water pressure, and why they didn't work when they were supposed to, because that was obviously very critical and something that's going to be looked into further. Reporting live in Tracy, I'm Golston Dart. Back to you guys.
All right, Golston, thank you very much. And as Golston was saying, this fire putting out that thick black smoke. San Joaquin County is monitoring the air quality, and the county public health says toxic gases, carcinogens, and at least one neurotoxin have burned in this fire. They say the smoke can seriously impact people with lung conditions. So if you have sudden breathing issues, throat irritation, nausea, or dizziness, you should see a doctor immediately.
And many of you at home have been sending us what you're seeing in your community in Tracy. Plumes of black smoke can be seen in several neighborhoods. Again, the Office of Emergency Services says to stay indoors tonight and tomorrow, of course. Keep your windows and your doors closed and bring your pets inside. People are also being advised to use their air conditioning to recirculate the air already inside their homes.